Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been forever. It has been over like a year, close to 2 years since I've been here on YouTube. There was just so much going on, so much has happened. I was in LA, I've been in Chicago, but I now have my computer, so I'm hoping to just be back on track with the videos and get them up as soon as possible every week for you guys. Hopefully, I just gotta get back into that grind of YouTube and all the editing and all that goes into it. I want to say thank you to everyone who has stuck by me even though I haven't been here in more than a year. I know that a lot of you keep up with me on Instagram, and when I said I was gonna start YouTube again, you guys sent me so many beautiful messages and you guys are always so encouraging, and it really made me feel like I wanted to come back to YouTube even more. I just love you guys and I appreciate your support. It never goes unnoticed.
Instagram has really helped connect me to so many people that we just feel like we're friends. We're like best friends and we talk like every day, and I really love talking to you guys, answering your questions, and I'm hoping that you guys can also interact with me here on YouTube. Let me know what you guys want to see more of down below in the comments. I know I'm talking really fast, but I'm just really excited, and besides that, I don't want to like make the talking like too long because I want to get right into the video, because I know you guys don't like when we talk so much, when us YouTubers talk so much. So I will just start saying what this video is going to be about. I didn't film the eyes or the brows. I will have an eyebrow tutorial and an eye look up soon, but I pretty much filmed the whole face routine because I actually got really bad acne recently. I had really clear skin my whole life, but one of my medicines that I was prescribed for my bipolar depression, which is called lithium, it actually had a really bad reaction with my skin, and I didn't know it was one of the side effects that you could get with that medicine. As with all medicines, you can get a side effect. This side effect hit me hard and it gave me severe acne. The acne was nothing like any acne I had experienced before. As you can see, I have like bumps all over my skin. It was very painful, like painful to the point that if I had like a lot on this side and I would lay down on my pillow, it would kind of hurt, like it was a pain. So I was just so confused, like what was causing my acne, because I literally had never got acne as much as I did now. And I googled, does bipolar cause acne, and I realized that it didn't. But then as soon as I googled that, the medicine lithium came up, and immediately it clicked to my head that it was the lithium that was giving me severe acne. And I was reading a bunch of reviews and a lot of people said it did the same to them. So I've been off of the medication for about a week or two now, and I'm hoping that my skin goes back to normal. But until then, this has been my routine to cover up the acne as best as I can. Of course, y'all know I dig Facetune. I live for Facetune. Facetune will help like for my pictures. This is as good as I can cover it for every day or for my videos, but Facetune definitely helps with the pictures, making them look like perf and everything. But for now, this is my face routine, and I really gotten into priming, and I hope you guys can learn a few things, because I definitely have changed a lot in my makeup routine in the past year or 2 years. So I hope you like this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you. I appreciate your support so much, and for those of you who have stuck around through thick and thin for so long, I love you guys, and I will definitely see you guys soon. Please don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up, and yes, I hope you like the video. Mwah!
So as you guys can see, my problematic areas are definitely my cheeks and my forehead, and I rarely get pimples in my T-zone, but once in a while I will. But it's mostly here and here that I get the pimples. So before I used to think that by applying more layers and another layer over that layer and another one over that one, just full coverage, everything full coverage. My concealer was full coverage, my foundation was full coverage, then I would set with a full coverage powder foundation. And instead of covering the acne, I started getting really cakey, because when you have acne, you have larger pores. So the more makeup that I would apply, the more cakey I looked. I used to think that to apply more, it would be better for covering my acne, and what worked best for me was figuring out a routine before going in with my foundations, my concealers, and my setting powders. So for me, what became really important, and I really never believed in primers as much as I do now, because I always had pretty clear skin, like I said at the beginning of the video, so I would kind of take primers for granted. But I really got into like testing out different primers and seeing how they make my whole makeup stay, seeing how they help cover my acne and all that stuff. And for me personally, that's the most important step. For acne prone skin, it's very common for us to get oily, so usually I'll get really oily in my T-zone. So that is when I go in with the Benefit Porefessional Matte Rescue, and I really love this stuff. So I start going in with this product more where I know that I get oily. For me, where I get more oily is my T-zone, so that's where I focus most of the product. And I don't know if this happens to anyone, but for some reason I get really oily, like right above my brows, and it makes it look really shiny in photos. So that's where I'll focus most of the product. So I'm gonna use the rest over everywhere else on my face. But like I said, the main thing for me was going in my T-zone with this product. Llámame una vez más para hacerme la diferencia. Next, I really want to show you guys how this Dermalogica primer works. It's called the Dermalogica HYDRA Blur Primer, and it's very similar to the Porefessional by Benefit Cosmetics. And I actually have that one as well, and sometimes I will layer both of them, but I don't know why I like this one better than the Benefit one. Pretty much what it's for is to fill pores and to also minimize any redness. So I hope that it shows up on camera how much the red is actually minimized with just this one product, but I definitely do see a difference when I use this, and this is definitely one of my holy grail products. And instead of rubbing, I will pat into the skin, and I use just my fingers to get into the areas with the most redness, and I like to pat the product into my skin. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can definitely tell that the redness did go down, but I'm still going to go in with 2 more primers, which I know 4 primers seems like a lot, but when you have acne prone skin, definitely priming does a difference. So I have no problem of spending more time on my primer now that I have acne, because I just prefer the redness to be covered. I'm just going to do the same thing, and this time I'm using Benefit's Porefessional. One thing you have to remember about these two is that since they are meant to fill the pores in your skin, they do have a very thick texture, and the key to these is just blending them. If you don't blend, and if you're like in a rush, you'll definitely have white blotches. So that's something to think about. Just make sure you blend those products extremely well. So the last product that I'm going to be using for my face before I go in with foundation and concealer is going to be my favorite, the Laura Mercier. This is called Radiance Foundation Primer, and it's really good, and I really like it because it has like a sticky texture, which is definitely going to help the foundation and everything else stick on much better. So one of my holy grails lately has been the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream, and I love it because it's super full coverage, which it's so full coverage you don't need to use a lot. And I don't like to put it in places that will crease because it's super thick, but I definitely like it for concealing my pimples. I don't have a color corrector right now, but you can color correct before, but I usually don't because honestly, ever since I started breaking out, I haven't bought a color corrector, so I will just make sure that I conceal very well. But you can go ahead and color correct, and that will also do the trick. When I have acne, the way that I like to blend my concealer is I like to pat it in as opposed to rubbing it with a brush, because I feel like by patting it into my skin, it really makes more of a difference, and it helps by covering the acne and covering the redness, because when you pat, you're not really moving the product around, you're kind of keeping it where you placed it. So as you can see, just with the concealer, it's already like a lot more coverage, and that is just the concealer. I make sure not to rub, I just pat the whole time. So now the next step is I'm going to be going in with foundation. I think it actually is my favorite foundation at the moment. It is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and it's amazing. I actually want to do a separate video just for this Peaches and Cream collection because it's so pretty. I'm just using a Mikasa beauty sponge.
I'm just patting everything in. Let me take off my watch because my watch is making so much noise, it's annoying me. So I'm just patting everything in. And what I like about this foundation is that it's definitely buildable. You can definitely keep it light, or I'd say it's medium to full coverage. You can keep it at medium, or you can definitely build it up to full coverage. So as you can see, what I love about it is your skin is very doll-like when you use it. The first time I used it, I was so in love with it, and I can't put it down since. And I really hardly ever use any other foundation. I don't even think it's my color anymore, but that's why I'm going to bronze my face and then make my whole skin match to this. So if it's not my color, I'm going to bring it lower than I usually would. FYI, don't mind my sponge. I know it's like that. One time I have nails and they kind of like just dug in there.
Next, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm just going to brighten up under my eyes, and I always go under my eyes and not directly into the crease so that I won't get the concealer in my crease and it won't cause creases when I set it. So I just place it under and then start to bring it higher. Next, I'm going in with a Morphe M439 brush, and I'm just patting everything into my skin to take off anything that doesn't really need to be there, just any excess product. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit more of a concealer, and then immediately after I'm going to set this with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I think that's what it's called. And then I'm just going to use this side of the sponge to set underneath my eyes and anywhere else that we highlighted. So I'm going to put it on my chin, my nose. I'm just going to bake a little bit. I'm going in with a darker shade of a MAC Studio Fix powder just to kind of help minimize the color from being too white. And then right away, I'm not going to leave it for too long because like I said, the foundation's already white. So I'm not going to leave it too long, just going to brush it off. I'm going in with NYC Smooth Skin Finny Parfait. It has such a weird name, but it's one of my favorite bronzers because it's super inexpensive. I'm just using a Real Technique sculpting brush. And I'm just going to start to fake some cheekbones. Mr. A on the beat. And I only use the edge of the brush. Like as you can see, I only get the sides of the brush because I feel like I have more control of the brush like that. I'm using a Mikasa E200 brush to contour my nose. The same powder from the top of my brow to the bottom and the tip of my nose. For blush, I'm going in with Milani's Luminesso blush. It's really pretty. I felt like going in with a shimmery blush, but something that wasn't too much. I'm just going straight in with that highlight. Oh my gosh. That was one little, let me show you though. Look. This thing has like some magic up in here because, I mean, just look. Like, it is freaking beautiful. No quiero ceder, no quiero perder, ni reconocer que yo te quiero ver. Debo confesar